Hey, what's it to YouTube? It's your boy Blazer04 here, and welcome to ranking the evolutions from worst to best. And guys, I'm super sorry for not recording in a while. I am so apologize for that. I apologize for that, so please forget me. Now we'll be ranking the evolutions from worst to best, and we'll also be giving them a buff. And if you guys really do enjoy this video, please like and subscribe if you guys are new. But before we start ranking roll the intro.
It's me, Mario, in the game. You probably know my name, and so we start.
Starting off the worst is Glaceon. Glaceon may have a great design, but as for competitive, to me, to be honest, most people's opinions, by far the worst to use out of evolution for competitive battling. And that's because its stats, well, yes, it's base 110 defense and 95 defense are good, and base 130 special is amazing. Its low base 65 speed and base 60 HP, 65 HP is not good. And its defense and its typing defensively is garbage. Weak to types like fire, fighting, steel is not great. And it takes 25% from stealth rocks from being an ice type, a pure ice type. And its abilities to me aren't great. Snow Cloak, which is banned because of the invasion boost during the hail. And Ice Bite heals 1/6 out of the user HP during the hail. And that is not great. So what buff should we get the Glaceon for? It's Mega Evolution. For form, we should give it a base 100 HP, base 130 defense stat, base 150, you heard me, 50 attacks, special attack stat, I mean. A base 110 special defense, and a base 90 speed to make it a good speedy. And we're not gonna be going over move pools because I'm not feel like doing moves because that's just too much. So what ability should we get Glaceon? Well, the common ability I want to give it is Serene Grace, which basically makes Ice Beam has a 20% chance to freeze. So yeah, Glaceon really needs a buff. So yeah, that's why it's low on the tier, and that's why it needs a buff badly. Coming at number 7 is Flareon. Now Flareon may be my second favorite evolution because I love its design, but I just cannot deny that it's really weak. For once, it's really too slow because it already has a great base 130 attack stat, but it's too slow to hit because it's base 65 HP. Base 65 HP and 60 defense means that it can die to pretty much most physical hits. And it has a pretty limited move pool, but like I said, we're not going to be talking about moves. And its abilities aren't... Guts is the better ability because of Toxidor, because you can make Flame Charge a really good move. And Flash Fire, like I said, is the fire type move, which can come in handy sometimes. But what should we do? And it's really... I feel bad for Flareon, but let's talk about the buffs for its Mega Form. So for the Mega Form, I decided its stats is going to be a base 90 HP, base 150 attack stat, and its base 60 defense will stay the same. A base 95 special attack will stay the same. It has a base 130 speed special defense, and now has a respectable base 100 speed. And its ability to me should be Reckless, which makes Flare Blitz even a real dangerous move. So Flareon could be a really dangerous wall breaker if they have this Mega and this ability, which we don't know if Mega Evolution will be coming. New Mega Forms will be coming to Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, but we just don't know yet. But yeah, Flareon is not that strong, but the buff, if we get this buff, yeah, I would love this Pokemon even more if they gave it a buff. Next up at number 6 is Leafeon. Now Leafeon back then in Gen 4 was pretty alright at being in underuse, but then it started falling down. And as a Gen 7, like Flareon and Glaceon, it's in PU, even though it do seem play and rarely used. But let's go over its stats. Well, yes, it has a dangerous base 130 defense and a great attack to 110 and a just bypass 95 speed stat. Its low special defense and HP really kind of hurt this Pokemon, and its abilities, just like the others, just not that good enough. Leaf Guard is right for the useless ability to get Leafeon, because why would you ever run that? And Chlorophyll's the better on the two, but you have to set up your own sun, and you really do not want to do that. So let's go over the Mega Evolution buffs. So for the Mega Evolution, I decided to give Leafeon a base 90 HP, a base 130 attack, a dangerous base 150 defense stat, making it a bulky defense Pokemon. Hey, its special attack will still stay at about 60 special attack, and it got a good base 90 special defense stat, and got a good speed stat, a base 105. Now for the ability, I decided to give it Tough Claws. You heard me? Tough Claws. So you guys know, boost the moves that make contact to 1.3 their power, which basically means Leafeon stab, Leaf Blade, and other moves such as Leaf X Scissor is real good. And this buff should at least help Leafeon out soon, guys. Next up is Vaporeon at number 5. Back then, Vaporeon used to be a really good water type Pokemon. And it doesn't have weaknesses to dark and bug, unlike Slowbro, who's weak to those types. But sadly, in Gen 7, Vaporeon fell to the waste as it fell to never use. Jeez, because so many Pokemon just destroy it. Even Ice Beam won't even help it out. Now, Vaporeon back then used to be a bulky Pokemon with a base 130 HP, a great 110 special attack, and a great special defense of 95, but lacks in speed. But it's much more bulky Pokemon. But those stats are just kind of starting to fall behind, and its abilities are also starting to fall behind too. Horn Absorb is not really the main good ability because Vaporeon sometimes let having hydration, which cures status during the rain. And this was really good back in Gen 5, but it's no longer Gen 5, guys. But so for the Mega Form buff, I decided to have Vaporeon's HP be a dangerous base 150, but its attack will still be at base 65, and its defense will be at base 90 now, and its special attack will be base 130, its special defense will be base 100, and its speed will be base 90. And the ability, to me, we should give Mega Vaporeon, if this Mega really did exist, would easily be Marvel Scale to increase the defense to 1.5. It's pretty, to be honest, burn or poison switching. That means if you basically just switch into a burn, that can pretty much just hurt your opponents. So yeah, Vaporeon really needs a buff because it's outclassed by a plethora of other bulky water type Pokemon, and it kind of needs a buff. So yeah, if this Mega Evolution exists, we would have been having another story right now, guys. Coming at number 4 is my favorite evolution, Umbreon. Umbreon to me has a great design, and is one of my favorite evolutions. My number 2 being Flareon, and number 3 being Jolteon. But sadly, Umbreon is starting to kind of like fall behind. Let's look at the stats first. It got a great base 95 HP, a base 110 defense stat, and a monstrous base 130 defense stat, making a dangerous defensive Pokemon. But while yes, its defense is its attack, it has no offensive capabilities. Like seriously, back in Gen 3 and Gen 4 for competitive, Umbreon had no attacking moves. In Gen 3 it was a baton passer, and Gen 4 it was a mean look passer. And the offense stats are really what hurt Umbreon. And its and while yes, its ability Synchronize is a great ability, it got a kick in the face with inner focus. Sure, that prevents Fake Out from stopping it, but jeez, what a worst ability you can get. But let's look at Mega Umbreon's stat. We buff his HP 5 points to 100, make his defense stat to 130, buffing his special attack to 110, and making its special defense to deadly to base 150. That is bulky right there. And 5 points to its speed. And since I want to still make it a dangerous bulky mod, I want to give it the ability Prankster, and that basically raise the non-damaging moves by priority by 1 stage. What basically means Toxic and them are just going to be priority. And that is dangerous coming out for a bulky Pokemon. And yeah, if Umbreon got this Mega Evolution, I would just love this Pokemon even more. But sadly, it isn't real, but I wish it was. Coming up at number 3 is Jolteon. Now, Jolteon back then used to be a dangerous Pokemon. Like, seriously, it was an OU from Gen 1 to Gen 5. Literally. But sadly, in Gen 6, it fell to rarely used, and it needs a buff because now, as of Gen 7, it's just outclassed by all the other electric type Pokemon like Tapu Koko, Zapdos, and Thundurus. And it needs something, cause even then you want to use a Jolteon. Tapu Koko just straight up better because it has electric terrain, had better abilities. Well, the electric terrain is his only ability. Volt Absorb is an alright ability, and Quick Feet to me is just not a good ability for Jolteon, because even though although yes your speed is boost, Jolteon's speed is already that high. You don't need a, and it does get status, and it only works with status. And while yes, it's a special attack, special defense, and speed is good, it's low HP and it dies to Earthquake quick. So for the Mega Evolution guys buff, we should get Jolteon. I decided to give it a base 90 HP, keep his base 65 and 60 attack and defense stat. And as for special attack, I decided to make it base 130. Special defense is base 120, and his speed is really quick. Probably one of the fastest, one of those fast Pokemon, being at a base 150 speed. Now Jolteon desperately needs a buff because it's already outclassed by you know what. All I kept saying is Tapu Koko, Zapdos, and Thundurus. It needs a buff quickly, so I hope it gets a buff soon. For Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, getting a buff to Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. Next up is the second best evolution, Espeon. Now Espeon to me is a real good Pokemon evolution because it got a great special attack of base 130, a base 95 special defense, and base 110 speed. Now its ability synchronized is actually kind of a useless ability before Baton Pass was banned in Gen 7, because mainly Espeon is mostly a baton passer, and it really needs to use Baton Pass. But thanks to the ban, most Espeon won't even use Synchronized anyway, because it got a better ability in Magic Mount, which basically reflects non-damaging moves back at the user. I mean, basically phasing for this Pokemon is just gonna stop. But sadly, it's low physical defense and weak to bug and dark type moves are not that great, and ghost types, I forgot to mention that. So for the Mega Evolution, I decided for the buff, I decided to give it a base 100 HP, keep its attack and defense the same, give it a deadly base 150 special attack, give it a great base special defense stat of base 120, and a great speed stat of base 130. And for the ability, I'm gonna this is the only time you can hear me, but this time well, not the only time, but this time I'm gonna let Espeon keep his hidden ability in Magic Bounce, because it's a real great ability, and to me I really should think Espeon should keep this ability. So yeah, Espeon is a great force to be reckoned with, but unfortunately it's rarely used. So yeah, along with Jolteon and Umbreon. And guys, you want to see Espeon's competitive life along with Jolteon, Vaporeon, Flareon, and Umbreon? They'll be on the top IQ made by False White Game. But anyway, there's one last evolution to go. And to me, the best evolution to use is easily Sylveon. Come on now. Sylveon is already a fairy type, which is probably one of the best types in the game, but to me still is a way better typing because of defense and not a bad offense type. But even though all the evolution lacks coverage moves, Sylveon has a great special attack and special defense, and has a pretty nice HP to make a little bit good bulky. And even though his Q-Charm ability is pretty useless aside from hunting Salandit in Pokemon and Willow Park. Alright, so but the real kicker to Sylveon is Pixelate, which basically turned normal type moves to fairy type and strengthened them to 1.P their power. And the problem with Sylveon though is wall breakers like Mega Beedrill and Mega Gengar and a bunch of others can exploit Sylveon's low physical defense stat. But that's why I decided to give it a Mega Evolution anyway. So it will be a dangerous, bulky Pokemon. Mega Sylveon, if Sylveon did got a Mega Form, will have a base 110 HP, a base 90 defense stat, a base 130 special attack, a base special defense stat of 150, and a base speed stat of 80. And Sylveon is already great, but giving a Mega Form to me will just help it even better, because we'll make it a dangerous, bulky Pokemon and a wall breaker. And as for ability, I also want to keep it pixelate anyway, guys. But anyway, guys, Sylveon to me is one of the best, strongest evolution in the game. But anyway, guys, hope you guys do really enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, if you guys are new. Have a great day. Peace out.